Hey dolls, welcome back to none other than Sharon's Nail Boutique. This is the set that I did. This is my sister's nails, and I redid them for my nephew's graduation, and his school colors are red and gold, I believe. So we chose red, white, like a whitish gray color, and I don't think we went with the black, but it's mainly just, the red with the white, and I feel like it really came out really nice. And then we did the pinky with Pixie crystals and 4 medium to a little bit bigger Swarovskis, 4 of them placed kind of diagonally from each other. And then I placed the pixies instead of pouring them. I picked them up with a dental pick dipped in, like the not resin, but the rhinestone glue from bornprettystore.com. I'll link that in the description below. Or if you are curious about it, just ask me in the comments and I'll send you the link. That stuff works wonders. I'm just laying my thin clear base of Mia Secret like I always do. I'm using this Color Club dip powder that I use as acrylic, obviously. And the name of it is... Hang on, guys. So it's from their Color Club Serendipity collection, and it's the 21-day at-home nail color dip kit. I don't think there's a name on the color itself. However, it's like it kind of reminds me of what clouds, like the color of clouds. It's like this grayish white. It's not quite white and it's not quite gray. It's like it's hard to describe, but it's like a milky gray color. Really light. More whitish than gray. But it's still a gray undertone to it. But it's really pretty. I like it. This nail in particular on my sister's hand, it curves. It has like a really strong C curve. So that's really the only one that you can see that kind of, we call it her hook nail. But it's the only one that kind of has that curve. So it kind of makes getting that cuticle area flush a little bit more difficult because of the shape of it. So I just try and kind of like make it look as normal as I possibly can without putting too much. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I basically try to flatten the area and give it that less of a C-curve shape. Like, I don't know how to explain it too much, but I'm using this glitter mix that I mixed myself, and it's like a silver holographic with iridescent glitters in there. Not too chunky. I think the biggest size glitter is like a 1mm or 040 in size. 040, 1mm, same thing. So I move on to the middle finger. I'm using my Super Nail Professional acrylic, and it's their Radiant Red. And let me just say, I'm not a huge fan of Super Nail. I think they're really generic, basic, but when it comes to certain colors of theirs, like this red, I just love this red color. It's so red, and it's one of the brightest reds that I own. I have other ones that are nice by Glam and Glitz and, the Color Club ones, but for some reason I keep coming back to this red. It's like the name says, Radiant Red. Yeah, so sorry about that. This red color is so, I couldn't have described it any better. It really is a radiant red. The color in it is just super shiny, just that bright red that when you look for color red or you think about a color red in your mind that you want, like this would be the red that I would think of if I thought, okay, I need a true red. So that's the color we chose. That's the one we went with. I do have other reds. However, I prefer this one, like I said. So I just finish making sure that nail is as opaque as I need it. And I will come in to cap when I'm ready. On the pointer finger, I know the pinkies are red as well. And then the pointer and the ring finger, I believe, are this like milky grayish color, but I believe I get all my red out of the way first before I do this. So on this hand, the finger isn't as C-curved as the other one. So as you can see, the acrylic wasn't really difficult to lay on this finger because the shape is typical of any nail bed shape. So it just makes our job a lot easier when the nails are not shape funky. Obviously, it would be like that with anything, you know? If the shape is off one way or another, like, for instance, my sister has like a dip in her middle finger on one of them, and every time we do her nails, it like comes out kind of more bulky on one side than the other. So what I did this time is I added more to that dip area and added basically a little less to the other area so that it just evened itself out. So that's what I had to do on that one finger. So basically I'm just picking up that glitter mix that I already pre-mixed. This is one of my own, and it's a beautiful iridescent and silver glitter. I use that as my base. So I'm doing that on the thumbs as well, because then I'll come in, I believe, on the thumbs with some stones, I think. I'm pretty sure I do. So I use that silver on the whole of the nail. And like I said, it's a silver holographic, extra fine, with little 1 mm pieces of iridescent glitter. And it's just so pretty. And then there's some, I think, like off-white matte glitters in there too. So this is a mix that my sister mixed up. This is my extra fine cherry holographic mixed with my extra fine silver holographic. So what I did was I laid that silver and iridescent mix as my base, and then I went in on top with the mix that my sister made, which is the red and the silver, and it really, really came out pretty. I really liked how it turned out. So I'm just making sure that, you know, all those areas are covered so you can't see through. And then I'll move on to the other thumb, and same thing here. I put that silver base down. I skipped ahead a little bit because it's repetitive. You already seen me do it on the other thumb. So I'm trying not to add too much bulk here because of all the glitter. In the end, I end up having to file a little bit more on the thumbs than the other fingers, obviously, because there was more acrylic on these fingers than the other ones. In hindsight, maybe I should have just went straight in with the red and silver glitter instead of using the base, but in the end they turned out great, and that's all that matters. My sister loves them, and that's all I care about. So these pinkies, okay, so the ring finger is gonna be all silver. This is the finger that's all silver. So I just add a little bit more up where I need it. I'll take a little bit more after I do the free edge and even that out, and I'll put, I think, one more bead at the cuticle for those spots that you can see through. So then once I'm happy with the coverage on that, which I am now, I will go in and cap with my Mia Secret Clear. And just making sure all those spots are covered. So see, this is how your nail should look. Thin and flush at the cuticle, come up ever so slightly, and then come almost straight out and down. So this is how you want your nail to look, because this is an even nail. You seen how I just placed that and went around the cuticle? That's what you're doing with your nail. You're gonna get an even nail every time if you do it this way, tucking around your edges and pulling the product down the center. It's a no-brainer. It's basically science, math, any type of mathematical fractional problem. Like you could see that with the nails, especially when you break it down to like a line coming down the center of the nail. If you look at it like that, both sides need to mirror each other. So once you know that both sides need to be identical, it kind of helps you when you are thinking about placing your bead and patting it out and where you need to have it. You need to take all these mathematical problems into consideration, because at the end of the day, technically it is a mathematical problem. with your measurements and everything. If you don't look at it like that, you're never gonna get it to the point where it's near perfect. I mean, nothing could ever be perfect, but basically perfect, as close to perfect as it's gonna get. If you don't take the math into consideration, you're not ever gonna be able to get to that point. So anybody that thinks nails have nothing to do with math, you're completely wrong, because they do. So that's it. You see how I'm going around my edges and then focusing on the center? You need to have those edges tucked. That's why, and flush. Otherwise, the rest of it isn't gonna matter. You know? Because if those sidewalls and your cuticle is not even and flush and thin enough, you're gonna have tons of filing to do, and that's gonna take more time than the actual nail. So in the end, it's not worth it. You need to really take your time and not rush through your sets, because when you're rushing, you're skipping things. When you're skipping things, your nails are suffering. If you don't do your prep right or any of that, your nails are not going to have a good foundation to sit on. Without a good foundation, they're not going to last. My nails stay on, people. No lie, like some of my clients come in after a month and a half, 2 months, and still have like all their nails on just about. Maybe one broke off. And usually it's because they jammed it in a door or the car door or something like that. I mean, usually I have to take them off when they come back because they're still on. So you can get to that point where you're not having any lifting or anything. Like my clients have minimal, if at all, lifting. Usually when my clients come back in, it's just teeny bits around the edges, which is normal. But major lifting, no. Like most of my clients don't get any major lifting anymore. Like when I first started doing nails, here and there people would get lifting, and it was just because I was still getting my ratios right. I was still getting the process right. I was still practicing and learning, and I do feel confident that I'm confident doing those nails. That's just what I do. So I'll leave you guys to watch this. I'll have the music in the background, and I hope you all enjoy. If you're new here and you have not yet subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button and that like button, and don't forget to share, guys. We're over 700 now. We're almost at 1,000, so don't forget to share with your friends, like and subscribe, guys, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye, dolls.